Hey guys, David Whitaker, Whitaker Marketing Group, Real Estate and Auctions, and want to jump on and make a video about auctions. Okay, we have a couple of houses on auction right now, and there are a ton of people asking questions. So let's just give a global, let's go buy at auctions, bid at auctions type conversation. So first question is, what's wrong with it? Why is it distressed, divorced, dissolution, disagreement, death? Like what's the problem with it? There must be something wrong. First of all, let me change your opinion. Not all people go to auction because something's bad. Yes, there are sales that banks sell, forced foreclosures, etc. But most properties I sell, if you come to any of my auctions, are normally because we want the highest price. We want a guaranteed sale date. We want transparency for the buyers and for the sellers. So there's lots more reasons that we chose auction, and it's not because they were distressed properties. So now that we've cleared that air, let's talk about how do we bid? Where do we go? What do we do? So when we think as other realtors coming to represent somebody at our auction, first thing, do we offer a buyer broker commission? Yes, we do. They're not always the same, so you need to ask. So not every auction company is the same either. I know some auction companies, they don't offer a buyer broker commission. Some do, but you have to check the boxes. Some do, and you don't have to really do anything, just bring your buyer. And then what do they require? So some auction companies want you to register your buyer 48 hours beforehand. Some require you to give an opening bid that meets the reserve. Some auction companies, like myself, I make sure that you bring your buyer's agreement. Now, your buyer's agreement is just like a traditional listing agreement or, agency agreement with your buyer. Okay? If you have a buyer's agreement, they probably trust you. You're probably their realtor. Okay? I need that before they make the bid. That's our rules. Now, how much do we pay? It differs every time. Sometimes I don't have much to share and it's a flat fee. Might be $1,000. Sometimes it's 2%, 4%, 10%. Depends on the auction, how big it is, where it is, what it is. So what does that mean? If you are a buyer's agent, you need to ask. You need to ask, you need to go to the website, you need to read the seller's brochure. You need to read the auction brochure or read the terms and conditions on the website. So let's talk about websites. If you are a buyer and you saw one of my auctions on Zillow or Realtor or Home Finder, etc., those syndication sites do not have all the information. So let me stop you right there. Same with you realtors. Stop you right there. It's not all the information that's on the MLS. Go to our website. Go to whoever the auction company website is. Ours, iowalandguy.com or wmgauction.com. Okay, there's going to be 3D walkthrough tours. There's going to be drone videos. There's going to be 3D mapping aerial tours. There's going to be all the associated documents from seller's disclosures to time of transfer inspections, etc., that you're not going to find on those other syndication websites. So when you're looking for more data, first thing, go to our website. The other thing you're going to find there is how to bid. How do we place a bid at an auction? Okay. Couple types of auctions. There's live where we're talking fast. Yep, you raise your hand. What do you need to register? Some require more than just your ID. I require your ID, your driver's license. Some require bank letter of statement. Depends on the job, who I'm working for. Some companies we sell for require a bank letter. Not everyone. You need to ask before the auction. Okay, then if you are a buyer's agent, you come to our website, you're like, hey Dave, how does my buyer bid? Well, they might download a form to bid in a sealed bid auction. They might be able to put it in as a place bid on a timed online auction. They may need to come to our live sale and register with a name, address, phone number. Nonetheless, what we require is you get your buyer's agency representation to us before they bid. If you don't get paid. That's the way it works. Okay. Now, let's move forward. As we're thinking of buying at an auction, a lot of people want to know why. We already told you there's lots of reasons why. And transparency is my biggest. For you buyers, I want you to all have the same playing field. So let's talk about a purchase agreement. How does a purchase agreement work and what's on it? Okay, traditional listing. We're going to make an offer. We go to our agent. We say, oh man, we want this house. I'm going to make an offer. Then we write in all these contingencies that say we can back out, and then we do our homework. So, can we get financing? Will it appraise? Is there a home inspection? What about a pest inspection? What about the well? What about that easement? What about? Okay, an auction is different. Rather than making your offer and then doing all your homework, I want you to do your homework beforehand. That's why we set the auction date way out there. I want you to do all your homework, then come to the table with all the questions answered. ready, willing, and able to buy. And that's what our sellers want too. They want to know you're a good buyer, that you're not going to back out. So what is different on a purchase agreement? Normally you have buyer-seller, who they are, the two parties in the contract. Well, you're the buyer or you represent the buyer, and I already know who the seller is. Got that figured out. Next, price. Guess what? That is why we're having an auction. We're trying to determine what is the true price of this place. What are you willing to give? Okay, so the price is the one thing on the contract that we haven't figured out yet. Okay, normally when you bring in an offer as a buyer's agent or you're writing an offer, we ask you how much down, how much earnest money you're willing to give with the offer consideration. And it could be a diamond ring, it could be $2, $10, $1 million, whatever it is. At our auctions, we normally require 10% down. You bid 500,000, I need 50 grand day of sale. Okay, that can come as a personal check, good check, cashier's check, cash. I don't care how you get it to me, but I need to get that money. And now if you're bidding online, it's an online auction. If you read the terms and conditions, you normally have 48 hours to get us that earnest money, okay? That is different. Now, if you're a buyer's agent, normally you guys get to decide how much you're willing to put down. The next thing you get to decide is when do you want to close? With an auction, the seller has already written the rules. We are closing on this day. That's part of the reason they went to auction. They wanted a guaranteed sale date and know when they're going to get paid. Likewise, for the buyers, you all know that you're all bidding at the same terms. When are we closing and when do I have to take possession? Okay. Most of the time, if we're writing an offer as a buyer, we can put contingencies. With an auction, it's as is, where is, no warranties, no guarantees expressed or implied. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong with it. What we're trying to do is get so that the seller has a guaranteed sale and that you're not backing out for reasons that you should have done homework on the front end. Do your homework on the front end, okay? As we go through, there's other things on a contract like pest inspection and home inspection. Oftentimes, we already have those all on our website. We've already done them. And yep, we've already passed TOT, time of transfer, already passed pest inspection, already passed a well inspection, already done a home inspection. You know, is a furnace. If there's something wrong with it, we may have already fixed it. In a couple cases I'm doing right now, we already have. Okay, so now you know all the things on the purchase agreement that might be different. Of course, we both sign the bottom, and then we're good to go. Now, just like a traditional real estate auction, or traditional real estate listing rather, we close and we have a closing date out there. We're going to go to our bank, we're going to get financing, and we're eventually going to close. No different with this. If the bank needs to come and do an appraisal, by all means, they can. Just remember, it's not contingent upon that. It means you can't back out. So what I'm telling you is, I want you to do your homework beforehand. I want ready, willing, and able buyers to come to the auction. Now, as the buyer's agent, again, how do you get paid? Well, I knew that you represented them. I knew they bid. I want you to help them with the closing. So if they have to go to a title company and get title insurance, that's on you, okay? You got to help your client. You owe respect to your client. Now with that agency rather, all the things that you would do in a normal transaction, you're going to do here too. Closing, if there's an abstract, if you're an abstract state, you need to update that. Survey, we need to get that. If you need to transfer CRP contracts or anything like that, it's on you as the agent to help your client. Otherwise, they can come with us. That's after the auction. Those are the things that you're going to see at an auction. So hopefully this video helped you realize that auctions aren't bad. They're actually really good. If you're thinking about selling, they're really good because the sellers write the rules in the contract, okay? Very transparent. It's open. Everybody knows the same rules. As a buyer, it's awesome because it's transparent. Everybody writes the same rules. So you're not wondering, well, man, what is that other guy going to give? Should I give just a little bit more earnest money and I could have won? That's the beauty of auctions. Hopefully this helped. Talk to you down the road.